So, hello guys. I've just recorded 25 minutes of footage. The audio didn't blooming work. So, here we are. I am going to be showing you guys the tier list I have just made of every brawler in Clash Mini from worst to best. And I hope you guys will enjoy. I am not going to be doing it individually like I had planned before. I'm just going to go through it. It's going to be quite a short video because basically everything just didn't work and I have had enough with this. Goodbye YouTube. I'm never uploading again. But here we are. I'm just gonna go through. All these things could be kind of interchangeable, like with the bottom of C tier that could go to B tier, the top of B tier could go to C tier, etc, etc. I made this with Charger. I have kind of put them in an order for each tier, but not necessarily. And I've tried to make each tier somewhat the same length. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. This is after the August balance changes, so let's just get into it. So in last we have the Wizard, the Barbarian, the Standard Healer. Those three in particular just kind of get replaced by everything. The Magic Archer, the Ice Wizard, the E-Wizard, the everything is just much better. Except the same applies for the Barbarian. Just play the Knight, just play the Prince, just play the P.E.K.K.A. Anything's just better, you know? And it's the same for kind of the Fisherman and the Goblins. The Fisherman got done dirty after everything was unable to move between rounds, because it's very easy to just not put stuff in front of a Fisherman, and it's kind of very situational, and it's kind of hard to play. So that makes them D tier. Moving up to the C tier, we've got Macho Man over here, and we've got Lumberjack. They're again very replaceable. Obviously, the Macho Man is a tank, so P.E.K.K.A. and stuff kind of replaces it. But Lumberjack is just so fragile for being a close range unit, and the rage doesn't even last long enough to really be that much value. So it just doesn't really make sense to use it. Going on, we have got the Archer, and the Archer is kind of just meh. It gets replaced again by Magic Archer that does much more damage, Dark Goblin that can fire much quicker, and other troops such like that. And it got a rework which didn't really do much, in my opinion. Obviously, this is my opinion. I'm at 1500 trophies, so I'm not a pro. I am pretty much at the top of mid ladder right now. I have basically got no pro experience, but I've used Reddit, I've used Charjack, that's very good. He's very good player, very pro. He's got like 700 trophies, very good player. And I've used like other tier lists from the past, and I've used the balance changes to count, as well as my own knowledge, because I am big brain. Which I think is the worst hero. It's obviously starting hero, so like it can't be too good low down, but it just isn't good high up. Like it just does no real damage. Obviously it can support, but Skeleton King and troops like that are just better. It don't make sense to use this over the Skeleton King, for example. Moving up, we've got the Knight and the Musketeer. They're again very replaceable. Knight is just kind of the Ice Golem of Clash Mini. It kind of just gets bodied by everything, which is its purpose, but it's not very useful in the grand scheme of things. The same with the Musketeer, it's kind of just replaceable. Just play the Magic Archer, as I've said before. Skeleton Guard, I'm going to higher up, but Charjack told me no, so if this is a hot take, Charjack's fault. But basically it got a bunch of nerfs, it got its shield reduced and stuff like that, so it's kind of just gone. The old meta, obviously being the Grand Warden and stuff, kind of just made it bad because it was in that meta, but it's one of my favourite troops. I run it as my flair on Reddit and everything, and it's really sad. I wanted it to be good, but it's not good. But yeah, it's just not good. We've got the Mega Knight, that kind of was good, but it fell from grace, obviously being killed by like tank high damage dealer units, like the P.E.K.K.A. and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And getting disappeared by the Mini P.E.K.K.A. It's kind of just gone because it gets countered by everything good. Bandit counters it, Swordsman counters it, Countess counters it. it's kind of sad. Going up, we got the Harp Lady known as Natureborn. We got Boar. They're both kind of mid. They're both just balanced. B tier, for context, B tier is balanced. C tier needs a buff. D tier, don't use them. A tier could do with enough, but they're kind of balanced. It's just slightly stronger than B. S tier, broken. But obviously, as I said, could move them down a tier. Like Magic Archer, for example, could go top spot of it. Like, it's interchangeable. But yeah, moving up, we got these giant skeleton. I said in my last thing, but you guys didn't hear it because the audio cut out. I said it was the most balanced troop in Class Mini, and I still stand by that. It's kind of good. It's better than the Knight because it takes more damage for the opponent, but then it also has a bomb that does huge damage. It can stun, it can kill, it can disintegrate, it can do everything. Obviously, it's not high damage like a Pepper, and it's not fast fire like a Dark Goblin, but it can do a lot of stuff at once, which makes it pretty good and pretty balanced considering what it's like. Moving up, we got the Arch Queen, which is probably the most balanced hero. It's not really talked about. It's just very defensive, and you can just surround it and do well. But at the same time, there's just better heroes. Just play Grand Warden, just play any better one, just play the Royal Champion, it just makes sense. We have got this big but Chazak made me. It's all Chazak's fault. And they are kind of good now, because their healing ranger got a buff, and that kind of made it good, you know, it's just good now. The Shield Maid, kind of just after the buffs. Mini P.E.K.K.A. isn't the best dissipating troop, but has pretty good dissipate abilities. It's kind of a shame that the Dissipate got nerfed, since there's only 2 troops in the game that can dissipate. Not counting the Skeleton King, because that's an ability. But, it's kind of sad. 2 minis that can dissipate, if you want to use that term. Grand Warden obviously banned them in meta decks, but now the meta's just kind of shifted, and he got nerfed. And it kind of just caused him to fall to the balance tier. I won't say he's weak by any means. He's still used. Obviously, it is tier 1, as I said before, but he's still pretty good. Valkyrie, this is a hot take. Valkyrie, Chazak wanted me to put Valkyrie in like C, but I put her in the bottom of A because I still think she's really good. She was in the meta deck that was used with Grand Warden and Royal Ghost, but since then, she wasn't changed, but everything else was. I feel like that is just a big change, and it was not really needed that she didn't get changed. I feel like she could have done with a nerf. She's one of the only splash damage close range units, and it doesn't really make sense why she didn't have any nerfs, but I like it. I like Valkyrie. She's cool. Next we've got Monk and P.E.K.K.A. My favourite card from Clash Royale being the P.E.K.K.A. Monk's pretty good though. Obviously both really high damage dealing. Monk can basically take out anything, but it does get countered by quite a few of the best cards right now, such as Miner and Witch, which is kind of annoying. Get it? Witch is kind of annoying. But yeah, P.E.K.K.A. is also the same. It got quite a few buffs, and it is just good now. Can attack much faster, and it's just a beast. Can't believe I recorded 25 minutes just for the one. Let's get up. Still sorry about that, but let's go. We've got the Dark Goblin, the Electro Wizard, the Ice Wizard, and the Prince, which are all very situational. Prince could be argued to be lower. Judge argued it's not lower, but I reckon that's a pretty balanced area. Royal Champion is just the Royal Champion. It exists. Miner, the better dissipating troop, obviously can get to the back line. Obviously it doesn't get spotted most of the time, so it can just chip at stuff and stop them from getting their super. And if it doesn't get spotted, it's normally great. If it does get spotted, it tends to be bad, because obviously it's just super squishy. It just doesn't really work, but it can do a lot of damage when it needs to, and it can take out the troops that are really annoying, such as the Witch, which is a very good troop right now. It got a buff, and that buff made it very good for defense. Just place a P.E.K.K.A., just place a Prince, just place some sort of tank around it, and boom, now you have infinite skeleton babies. Where do all the skeletons come from though? Like seriously. Anyway, we've got the Magic Archer, bottom of S tier. I honestly didn't think he would be S tier. I thought I put middle or A tier. Charge Up disagreed. But we have got him there. He does high damage. He has splash damage. He has a lot of potential to be good, and it's basically all you want from a long range shoot. I don't see, unless you're trying to make a very niche kind of deck, I don't see a reason to have something like the Archer, for example, above the Magic Archer. You just get way more value for the cost. Yes, for the cost with the Magic Archer. Moving up, we got the third and second best hero, Skeleton King and Countess, and I just believe they're really good because they have a lot of abilities. They can do high damage, which is kind of needed at the moment. They have teleport and splash damage, which is also kind of needed at the moment. And they just kind of counter the counters, and they do well. The Royal Ghost obviously got a nerf, but now it's really good. It can just hit faster, but at the cost of not being able to go invisible as frequently. And I reckon that's a really good change. I was gonna go the complete opposite and say attacks slower but can go invisible longer, but that's the Supercell chose right. Clearly it's still strong, but much less strong. We've got the Swordsman, we've got the Wavemaster, we got the Bandit at number 1. Let's go Bandit fans, let's go! Bandit is actually really good. You basically just go shing shing. Well, you kind of just go shing 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 with them all. You get the supers, go shing 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 shing, and then you win after going shing 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 a few times. Literally all of them. Goodbye. Oh my God.